Hello everyone, and let's talk about we're getting a new Star Wars games. EA no longer having the exclusive access or exclusive rights to publish Star Wars games. So we've seen some new Star Wars games have been announced, or have been announced as in development at least, and we've got a new Indiana Jones game coming, being developed by Machine Games, who made the Wolfenstein games. They made the recent Wolfenstein games, and they're pretty decent. Decent gameplay. So, and you're getting an Indiana Jones game going to be produced by Todd Howard, I guess, published by Bethesda. So I'm guessing it may be Xbox exclusive. I don't know, or Microsoft platform exclusive at least. But yeah, I mean, the only thing is, are we really that excited for an Indiana Jones game? I mean, the game in games we've got Tomb Raider and we've got Uncharted, so it's just going to be another one of those games. Really, it's going to be you kind of know what you're going to get with that. Interesting enough, the last Indiana Jones game, which was 2003's Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, I think that was Xbox exclusive. I remember it being on the original Xbox and the PC, so it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. So Todd Howard is set to produce the game. Hopefully they use the EdTech engine and not Bethesda's Sky. What the Creation engine? That's the one that does Skyrim and Fallout. Hopefully they use the EdTech, because Machine Games, most of their games use EdTech 6. Maybe they'll use EdTech 7. Again, id Software is another Microsoft-owned, technically, developer. Because again, they're owned by Bethesda, and Microsoft owns Bethesda. So we're getting an Indiana Jones game. Should be alright. I mean, I do like the Tomb Raider, and I do like Uncharted games, so I guess you know what you're getting. I guess Microsoft wanted an Uncharted type game, so they've got Indiana Jones. Hopefully Harrison Ford provides the voice. I don't know if that's been confirmed or not, because nothing's been revealed. It's just been revealed it's in development, so it'll be out within the next few years. So I take it's years away from completion. Although Machine Games, the last game they put out was Wolfenstein Youngblood, and that came out did that come out in 2020? No, it came out in 2019. I remember it had all the next gen graphics features like ray tracing and DLSS and so forth. So that should be interesting to see. The other news is that EA no longer have exclusive rights to the Star Wars to publish Star Wars games, because there is a Star Wars game in development at Ubisoft. We're getting Ubisoft the Star Wars game. To me, most Ubisoft games are just the same, really. You've got Ubisoft the Assassin game. You've got Ubisoft the GTA with hacking game. You've got Ubisoft, the first-person shooter one, and it's usually set the open-world first-person shooter one. You've got the open-world third-person shooter that's set in a city, and then you've got an open-world third-person shooter that's set in the jungle. And then what else? You got the racing one. Don't forget the Ubisoft, the racing game. Don't forget that one. Rainbow Six Siege is the only one I can really name, because it's actually different. So there you go. Apart from Rainbow Six, I don't really know any Ubisoft franchises. I've never finished a Ubisoft game. The last Ubisoft game I actually finished was Far Cry 2, I'm going to say. I finished the Rainbow Six Vegas games. I don't know if Far Cry 2 or Rainbow Six Vegas came out first. I think Rainbow Six Vegas was first, because it's quite early in the Xbox 360 generation. That game came out. So yeah, I finished the Far Cry 2, the last game I finished. I usually get about halfway through a Ubisoft game and realize it's just the same repetitive crap. So it's going to be an open world Ubisoft game. So it's just Assassin's Creed with lightsabers, I'm going to assume. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's... Although I say that though, Immortals Phoenix Rising, which we did a gameplay video for, that was a Ubisoft game. That was pretty decent, actually. I think that is quite a decent game. I like that. Hopefully it's the developers. I mean, that was made by the developers of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which again was another really boring Assassin's Creed game. I got really fed up with that game. It took me 45 minutes to kill one enemy in that game, because I was level 2 and they were level 5. And they just had a big health bar. You just hit them for a bit and then dodged, and then hit them for a bit, dodge, hit them for a bit, dodge. But because you're level 2 and they're level 5, they had a massive defense and a massive health bar. So it took 45 minutes to kill that enemy, and I never played it again. So that was it. That was my 45 minutes. with Assassin's Creed Odyssey there. Pointless grindy game. Hopefully they've learned their lesson. So I'm guessing it'll just be Assassin's Creed with lightsabers. That's what I'm thinking. Although I'm saying that EA do have Jedi Fallen Order, sequel to that is in the works, which is good. And they've still got Star Wars: The Old Republic as well. There's still no plans. It doesn't seem there's any plans to cancel it. I think EA are still going to make Star Wars games. They're just not going to have the exclusive publishing rights. They had that for the last, 7 years? They've had the exclusive publishing rights. Was it 6 or 7 years? I think it was, 2012, 2013 they acquired those rights. And we've had, two mediocre Battlefront games and one really good game in Jedi Fallen Order. So they produced one good game out of three. SWOTOR they had before they had the exclusive agreement, so that was ongoing. They still kept that ongoing, and it looks as though SWOTOR will continue. By the looks of things, I think there's no real plans to end that. You should just get rid of Anthem. Really, if you were EA, you just tell BioWare, look, just scrap Anthem. Do Knights of the Old Republic remake. Do a Knights of the Old Republic remake, because people keep saying they want a Revan movie or they want like an Old Republic era movie, and I think no, we don't want a movie. It's gonna be the Disney Star Wars movie. It's gonna suck. Look at the trilogy that Disney made. Although The Mandalorian is quite decent there, and Rogue One was okay. I liked Rogue One. Solo was alright as well. Solo was interesting at least there. So I think that yeah, the don't really want a Disney Star Wars Old Republic trilogy, because the thing about, if you look at the characters that are in the Knights of the Old Republic games, they are very personal to each and every player. If you think about it, everybody's Revan was different in Knights of the Old Republic 1, and even the old Knights of the Old Republic 2, everybody's exile was different. I mean, Canon Revan was a male who went back to the light side, so it went for the male light side end. In KOTOR 2, the exile, Mira Sutrek, I think her name is, I can't remember, was female and I'm guessing was light sided, I don't know. But I guess they've taken that as canon. I prefer KOTOR as the dark side. I prefer playing on the dark side. You can romance Bastila and get revenge. It works better for me as a revenge tale. So I guess if they did a movie, you'd be disappointed. I think you would disappoint some people. I think that's the thing about RPGs. Making RPGs into movies, especially choice driven RPGs, is very difficult. I don't want a Mass Effect movie either, because again, everyone's Commander Shepard is different. Again, you can have a male shepherd who could romance, different characters. You have a female shepherd. Again, there's so many different options there that I don't think you could really satisfy that, because a movie has to have, there's no choices in the movie for, the viewer to make. That's the whole point. I mean, a character like Darth Vader is iconic, but he's a very linear character. The decisions for Darth Vader were made, by George Lucas, effectively. And it's his character, he's got every right to make those decisions for the character. But we never had, like, Vader wasn't a video game character that had choices. Whereas Revan, we tended to have choices with Revan, although we didn't have much of a choice in Shadow of Revan and SWOTOR. But I'm not a fan of making, especially choice-driven RPG games into movies. Not a fan of that, because you're going to disappoint a lot of people, because the character means something different to them. And that's the beauty of a character-driven RPG with choices, is everybody has a different take on that character, and everybody's take on that character is going to be slightly, going to be slightly different, because it's to their personal taste. And that's the beauty of those things. I think that's the beauty of video games, is we can have a choice, and that's why you prefer video games to movies anyway, and that's why video game movies rarely work. But anyway, that I've ranted on a bit too long about story-driven games there. But anyway, that is all for this video. So let me know what you think. Indiana Jones game should be alright. Machine Games are a decent developer there. And the Ubisoft The Star Wars game, that's what I'm gonna call it, I guess. Hopefully it's different enough and not just Assassin's Creed with lightsabers. But anyway, that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me. We'll see you again soon, and goodbye.